Good morning. I forgot the music. It's been a long couple days, but you know what? We will hit it with the tradition right now. Good morning. There it is. To the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Happy Friday. Final Friday in August, final show of August, as summer comes to a close. Wahoo! Finally, Wahoo is right.
Very excited about it.
You know, yesterday we had history on the show. We did 2 hours. Clover was visible because we had 1,000 likes. And the same thing can happen today if, of course, you want it. Right? The power is in your hands. You, too, can bring Clover onto the camera if we go ahead and if we decide that we want to hit the like button 1,000 times. Wherever you're watching, go ahead and smash that like button. Make sure you're following the channel, LFA TV, rumble.com/LFA TV. That is home base. We have brand new, well, not brand new, but pretty disturbing information about the school shooter in Minneapolis. The school shooter in Minneapolis, look at that. Eli says, I used to be an introvert, but now that I've discovered my outdoor patio and cigars, I don't want winter. Okay. Yeah, I want winter. I like it when it's cool out. I like it. I like when I'm not sweating my you-know-what off all day long, because once I walk outside, I start grilling, I'm dripping all over the grill. It's gross. It's gross. We got new information about the Minnesota shooter. What the Minnesota shooter preferred. Obviously, if you had heard, if you were listening to the show on 1210 WPHT this morning from 6 to 10, the Sean and Dawn show this morning, you will have heard this information. Many people may have already heard this information as well. But we will be talking about what the shooter preferred and what we can do to prevent school shootings and this type of stuff in the future. And is Tim Walz, Governor Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, is he responsible in a way for what happened in the in that Catholic school, the Annunciation school, the senseless tragedy? Has he been in a way implicated? I think yes, maybe not intentionally, but because he was careless and mismanaged state funds, that he was potentially responsible, or should claim some responsibility because of his carelessness and some decisions that he made. An update about the shooter's mother. Very interesting there. Democrats still divided over Israel. The Cracker Barrel has dropped its DEI, so that's good. Thanks to the great Robbie Starbuck. We could talk about that for a minute. And of course, it's Friday. It's our final Friday of August. We will not be with you on Monday, although I will be live with 1210 WPHT Monday morning for 4 hours, 6 to 10 a.m. But we will take your calls here going into the holiday weekend as well. Before we do all of that, I got to get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. It's Oscar Foxtrot Papa Farms. Foxtrot Alpha. OFA Farms? No. OFP.
Wait, why do you ever say alpha? Why is that in my... Oh, LFA.
LFA, yes.
Oh, I was getting the two mixed
See that?
up.
There it is.
We're both on
very
morning mode.
Running on fumes. It is not me with a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. It is my wonderful, beautiful wife, Brennan, with her message about the peace lotion and everything else over at OFPfarms.com.
I haven't filmed a Get Ready With Me in a hot minute, so I wanted to do that today. And I also wanted to show you guys this product from OFP Farms that I'm absolutely loving. It is their Magnesium Tallow Body Cream, and I'm the one with the code. Brennan, me, not Sean, me. So excited about it. Powder foundation. I'm tan enough that I can be in one of their tanner shades. That makes me so happy. A little bit of blush. I go with a mauve eyeshadow. All right, a little mascara. There's always a hair either in my mouth or in my eyes. You can usually blame the cats, but that one was all me. Just finishing up my lips. I like a nice juicy. A nice juicy lip. Okay, I'm excited because now I get to tell you about the Magnesium Body Cream, OFP Farms. I have been loving this. It's called Peace. and it has lavender and vanilla notes, and it's in a squeezy tube. I happen to be a very big fan of squeezy tubes. I love this because you can put it in your purse. I love all of their magnesium lotions. A lot of them come in the pump, and I think that's great because I just stick it on the counter, you know what I mean? But this, you into the purse. Oh my gosh, between my sunburn all the time and my restless legs. And I do run a little bit on the anxious side a lot, and so the lavender smell is kind of old-timey. They use top quality magnesium chloride flakes. They also use organic grass-fed beef tallow. It smells so good. It's very peaceful. It's very calming. I like to use this before bed. It's really nice. The people at OFE Farms are wonderful. If you guys would like to order one of these, please do use my affiliate code. My affiliate code. Brennan. It's my name. BRENNAN. To let them know that you heard about it through me. How exciting is that? And you will also get a little bit of a discount. Oh, and Clover wants to say hello. And so does Betty. Betty's actually been right here with me this whole time. Yes.
OFPfarms.com, promo code Brennan, BRENNAN, OFPfarms.com.
Yes.
Promo code, that would be Bravo, Echo, November, Alpha.
No. You said Bravo Echo. There's an R in there.
Oh, Bravo, Romeo, Echo, November, Alpha, November.
I can't tell you how many people spell my name with an O.
Yeah.
Brennan. Or a Brianna.
Brianna is a good one.
Brendan.
Gosh. I don't know where they get Brendan from.
That's just...
People just...
It's very easy. Brennan. It sounds exactly like it's spelled.
Yes. BRENNAN. That's OFPfarms.com. Promo code Brennan for 15% off. Check out that Peace Lotion. Has sold very well. This a good marketeer right over here.
Thank you. I'm a little sweaty.
That's Brennan. She's sweating. But you
I get so nervous.
But you are also wearing a picnic blanket right now.
Well, I had the windows open earlier.
Gotcha.
And
it's cold.
55 degrees out.
It's cold
there, so
this morning.
Chilly.
It was cold. All right, we're going to get to... I want to get to to a word from our friends at Silent, but before we do that, I regret to inform you that the Democrats are singing again. And so we had this one.
Kilmar is our neighbor. You can't have him, Trump. No!
No! Of course, my favorite.
Everybody, hoo-hoo-ya. Hoo-hoo-ya.
Oh, yeah. Now, there's this crazy, unhinged, speaking of mental illness, I think state senator from Nebraska. Wait till you hear this crazy woman.
Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. You matter. You matter. And I am fighting for you. And I will not stop. I will not stop today. I will not stop tomorrow. You are loved. You matter. You belong here.
Everybody, hoo-hoo-ya. Hoo-hoo-ya.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody.
Nope, no. How about that state senator from Nebraska, huh?
That was too much.
You know, I have some advice for her
What?
because she's kind of porky. You know? Maybe if she does that for about 30 minutes a day, she'll be less porky. Just, you know,
Oh, my gosh.
I can't even imagine being that deranged.
Gosh, I hate women's voices. I just do.
Oh, yeah.
That one's okay, though.
Oh, yeah. Trans people are here. We love trans people. We want trans people. I will fight for you. Whew. Crazy.
Ugh.
What do we want? What's the medical procedure? What's the medical
Lobotomy.
protocol? No. Lobotomy. The Ramones. What is the medical protocol that I would normally prescribe that woman? Go ahead. Come on, you know it. The chat knows it.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Small room,
Small room.
big needle.
Big needle and
Long nap.
Long nap. There it is. Big needle, small room, preferably padded, long nap.
Sweet dreams.
I would say, all right, come on, get vaccinated, honey. We want trans. Yeah, my gosh. What a mess. All right, we do have some important stuff to get to, though. So I did want to start off kind of because the show is going to get a little heavy, of course, because of the subject matter, school shooting. But these details do need to be talked about. Before we do that, I want to get to a word from our friends at Silent. You see them right here? Labor Day sale. Silent, slnt.com/SHAWN. Let's face it, folks, your phone is a tracking device. Between government agencies, big tech, corporate data brokers, and even cyber criminals, they're all fighting for your piece, of your digital footprint. And they don't ask. They just go right on and they take it. That is why Silent exists. Silent makes Faraday gear that blocks all wireless signals, cellular, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, RFID, and near-field communications. No signal means no tracking, no remote access, no breadcrumbs. Take that, Hansel and Gretel. It's the same technology that is trusted by special operations teams worldwide, used to block signals, avoid surveillance, and secure communications wherever the mission leads. And right now it is available to you to protect your family, to protect your freedom, and to protect and hide your digital footprint. Drop your phone in a Silent Faraday sleeve, and it is off the grid, completely silent, invisible to the outside world. From their backpacks to sleeves to their cross bodies, Silent's patented technology gives you control over your privacy. Just go to slnt.com/Sean to save 15% off, or you can also take advantage of the Labor Day sale, $100 off. Save up to $100 off.
Wow.
150. If you spend 150, you save 25. You spend 250, you save 50. You spend 350, you save 100. Codes are right there, but only if you go to silent.slnt.com/SHAWN. Take control of your privacy and silence the chaos. That's slnt.com/SHAWN. That Labor Day sale
We love a
is
deal.
not going to, we love a deal. That sale is not going to be going on forever. Labor Day sale. Labor Day's Monday. Get in while the getting's good.
You know who could use some silentness?
Who's
that
that?
lady that was.
We love trans people. We stick her in a Faraday bag. Or you know what? The hell with a Faraday bag. Why don't we just stick her in a plastic bag and let it do its thing? I'm only kidding. Before anybody, it's violence. I'm only kidding. Sort of. Okay. These are some disturbing things from the school shooter out here in Minneapolis. You know, we've been talking about this. I talked about this at length on 1210 WPHT this morning, live on the radio, and we'll take your calls later. 631-527-4545. Voice your opinions on this. Actually, there is, by the way, one of the people, Redneck, I think is his name, REDNEKK. Has invented some sort of technology. Was it Rhino Guard, I think it's called, or something, that's supposed to aid in the school shooting, or not in the proliferation of school shootings, but to defend against school shootings.
Well, he just mentioned he's got someone that may be great to come on the show. So I just told him that our email is in the comments below the show.
Yes.
Not in the chat.
Yes, the comments below. The permanent comments down below.
Shoot us an email. On that
But shoot us an email about that. Yep. The trans shooter that took the lives of two children, 8 years old and 10 years old, in the Annunciation School in Minneapolis. And this is not Sean Farish's opinion. This is not Brennan's opinion. This is not LFA TV's opinion. This is the shooter's opinion. Okay? I'm not making this up. This is not a thesis, a hypothesis. This is not a what if or a hypothetical. This is what the shooter himself said. The trans shooter who took the lives of two beautiful children in Minneapolis targeted a gun-free school because he wanted his victims to be unarmed. It's the path of least resistance. This is a report from the Crime Prevention Research Center. This is the CPRC. This is written up on Breitbart.com. It's great reporting on this because this is very important, and this takes us into the conversation about should we have armed security at our schools. I would argue yes. I've been arguing in favor of that for the last couple of years. I used to think, all right, I don't know about that. That's a little much. I don't think that anymore. Because it doesn't have to be a guy patrolling around school with a massive rifle on his shoulder looking like a prison guard.
No, that's silly.
All it's got to be is somebody who has a gun. Everyone knows he has a gun. He is respected, and he is keeping the grounds safe. And if maybe it's not one person, maybe it's a team of people, but they should be armed. They should be armed. They should be ready to defend that school at a moment's notice. This is why. Report from the Crime Prevention and Research Center, right here, issued Wednesday, highlighted the Minneapolis trans shooter's desire to follow in the footsteps of other mass shooters. The gunman who opened fire in a movie theater in Aurora. I'm going to try my best not to use their names because I don't like doing that. That's what they want. I'm not giving them what they want. Colorado, July 20th, 2012. Remember that in the middle of the Batman movie? Shot up the movie theater, killed 12 people, injured dozens more. Then there was the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, December 14th, 2012 in Newtown, Connecticut, which killed 28 people, including himself, and injuring 2 others. The CPRC, Crime Prevention and Research Center, used this report to demonstrate that the trans attacker who allegedly shot and killed 2 children at Annunciation Catholic School and wounded many others wanted gun-free victims, just like the Aurora shooter and the Sandy Hook shooter. Again, this is not my opinion. This is not the opinion of the people who wrote this report. This comes straight from the Minneapolis Shooter's Manifesto. He wrote a great deal of it in Russian. This portion that he wrote in Russian says the following, translated to English. I recently heard a rumor that the Aurora shooter, he names him, I'm not naming him, okay? The Aurora shooter may have chosen venues that were, quote, gun-free zones. I would probably aim the same way. The Aurora shooter wanted to make sure his victims would be unarmed. That is why I, Minneapolis shooter, and many others like schools so much. At least for me, I am focused on them. The Newtown shooter, Sandy Hook, is my reason. Okay, so this is the trans shooter in Minneapolis saying he preferred a gun-free zone, a gun-free school, a gun-free setting to carry out his attack. Why does he say that? Well, he goes on in his manifesto and says the following. The trans shooter admitted that localities and facilities with security are unattractive targets. Quote, I understand that high security places like prisons or airports are different. Why then are our schools not high security places? See, this is why it's very important to go into the writings of a deranged killer like the Minneapolis shooter. Because in those writings, he confesses, he gives detail, he lets you inside of his head, a very dark place to be. But you've got to, in order, they always say in order to catch a thief, you have to think like a thief, right? In order to prevent it, you've got to think like them. And we have been saying this is the way they've been thinking for years. And every time we bring it up, why do banks have more security than schools? Is your money more important than your children? This shooter in Minneapolis admits that he preferred to target what we would call soft targets. If he is saying that high security places like prisons, like airports, like places with armed security are unattractive targets, then we need to do everything in our power to make those schools a high security target, which would make it an unattractive target. Obviously, gun-free zones don't matter to criminals because criminals don't care about gun control laws. If armed security is a sufficient enough deterrent to keep mass shooters from attacking at prisons and airports, then we should use armed security to deter would-be shooters from attacking at schools. This is a very simple line of thought. And it is something that can be implemented in public schools, private schools, Catholic schools, charter schools, any type of school across this country tomorrow like this. Do you know how many retired military members? Do you know how many retired police officers I have personally spoken to who said if they put something in this, they would do that work to defend those schools for free? When you have the actual criminal, the actual shooter saying, if this was a high security place, it would be unattractive to go commit a mass shooting. Why then would you not want to make the school unattractive to these shooters, to these terrorists? Again, this is not my opinion. This is not me saying, hey, I think it would be reasonable to think that, hey, a shooter sees a place like a bank, like a prison, like an airport, there's armed security there. The shooter goes, I don't know about that. Maybe I should go attack a place where there's no guns. This is the shooter telling you that. I am 100% in favor of having armed security in every public school, private school, Catholic school, charter school, trade school, whatever school across this country tomorrow. Now, I know some parents say, well, I don't want my child to be, going to school in a prison. It doesn't have to look like a prison. It's not going to have barbed wire. You're not going to have a guy walking around with a cannon on his shoulder, a huge standing guard, with an AR-15. You can have a security guard or a team of security guards who have their weapons concealed, but everybody knows they're armed. And when I mean everybody, the school district puts out a press release. All of our schools are armed. Don't you try that crap here. You know how many lives that will save? You know all the money that we're going to not be spending at the Department of Education? Why don't we go ahead and use some of that? What about money from the Department of Defense? I would say that would be defense spending that I would be in favor of to secure our schools, to keep our children safe. Brennan went to school in Tallahassee at a school. What was his name? Deputy Peters?
Yep.
Right? Who was armed. Everybody knew he was armed. And what did he do for you guys?
Everyone loved him.
Everyone loved him.
The kids learned that law enforcement was your friend.
Bingo.
They're there to keep you safe.
There it is. How nice would that be? And maybe this is why the left doesn't want to do it. How nice would that be to have a guy is there to keep you safe? He's law enforcement. He was an active sheriff's deputy, right? Not retired. He was active.
I believe he was always in uniform, so I would believe so.
Did he have a badge?
Yeah.
Okay, so then he was most likely active. Okay. How nice would that be? Your children are going to school. They teach nothing but how nasty the cops are. Yet the cop at the school becomes the children's friend, becomes a role model, becomes somebody that they can look at, say, that guy's protecting me. You know that all the nonsense, all the BS about police officers are bad and hunting down black people and making communities less safe, et cetera, et cetera. How nice would that be to flip the script and to show students in these schools, hey, you see that guy? He's carrying a gun. He's not brandishing it, pointing it at kids. How nice would it be? How nice would it be for kids to realize that the police are actually role models again? Listen, I was on the other side of this issue many years ago, thinking, all right, armed security, what's that look like? Do you have people patrolling the hallways? Stop and frisk. No. You have a school district, a community, a county, whatever, and they put a press release out that says our schools are now protected by armed security teams, former law enforcement, current law enforcement, former military, whatever. And these men that are going to be doing it, because it should be men that are going to be doing this. It's not like you're putting a sniper on the roof. It doesn't have to have Secret Service coverage. But these men that are going to be doing this, right? I want them to undergo extensive background checks to make sure one doesn't slip through the cracks and cause a problem. But think about how much safer it would be. And really, it doesn't change anything when it comes to the dynamic of the school. It doesn't change anything. The kids are still going to class. They're not even going to be thinking about the fact that a security guard has a gun. They can go to school knowing that if someone tries to break through that front door, that they're going to get pumped full of freedom seeds before they get a chance to kill anybody. And if you don't think those police officers, those army, those military veterans wouldn't give their lives in defense of the people inside that building, not that I would ever want them to have to do that, but if push came to shove, they wouldn't be like that coward down in Parkland who ran the other, was it Parkland or Uvalde, or maybe it was both of them, who ran the other way and were afraid of it. They would lay their lives. They already signed on the dotted line to do it for the community when they served as police officers. They already signed on the dotted line to do it for their country when they served as members of our military. They would do it again for these children. I know people who would do it. I know people who would do it for free. For free. This piece of information might be the most important piece of information that has ever come from a manifesto from a school shooter in history. Admitting the gun-free zone is what draws these shooters to these facilities. And on the flip side, high security places like prisons and airports deter these shooters from committing those crimes at those facilities because it has a less chance of being successful and a less chance of taking other people and killing other people in their attack. And that's what brings me now to this story about Tim Walz. Story about Tim Walz it's disturbing. It's sad. Look at this. Robbie 9265. I would do it for free. I'm ex-military. Guys, there are so many, and I'm not saying you have to work for free. You should be paid for it. I mean, this revelation from that shooter, it makes sense. We've been saying it for years. Years. The gun-free zone only takes the guns out of the hands of the good guys, not the bad guys. The good guys abide by the law. The good guys obey the law. The bad guys are bad guys. They don't care about laws. You want to take a stab at this wild question, huh? Why is it that why is it that gun-free zones never seem to stop gun crime when it's criminals committing the gun crime? Why? Because they're criminals, guys. This is not hard. This isn't difficult. They are criminals. They're already in violation of the law or planning to violate the law. Somebody who is getting ready to shoot up a school and kill children does not give a damn about what or where they're allowed to carry their weapons or what weapons they're allowed to carry. They don't care. They are criminals. And now you have the criminal admitting high security places are not attractive to them. So why not make schools high security places? We can do this tomorrow. Tomorrow. Like this. Do you know how many members of the law enforcement community would say they would, whether they're current, former, military, same thing, would say, I want that mission. We could do this tomorrow. That's the way to do it. All right. Quick break. Then we'll get to this Walz story. And then we'll take your calls. And I really want to hear from everybody today, not just because of my throat obviously is in shambles as we've got blood is back. It was a 6-hour marathon yesterday, 5-hour marathon today. But it's fun. We're living the dream. It is a lot, though. Could use a little help today. But also, I want to get your thoughts on armed guards at the schools. Parents, give me a ring. 631-527-4545. And just remember, we're not talking about, again, making the school look like a jail. Putting snipers on the roof. Barbed wire. I mean, that's not what anybody has in mind here. But having a team of 5 or 10 individuals who are monitoring the exits, right, and patrolling the grounds, not with guns drawn, but it being common knowledge that so-and-so school, right, is protected by an armed security force, knowing that will keep the shooters away. And they're admitting it. All right. Quick word from our friends over at Armor Colostrum. It's tryarmor.com/LFATV. TRYARMRA.com/LFATV. Tryarmor.com/LFATV. You know, colostrum is the first nutrition that we receive in life. Contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. You know, we're always looking for ways to strengthen immunity, strengthen my gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, enhance skin and hair radiance. That is what Armor Colostrum can do for you. And they can do that and a whole lot more. It can help reactivate your hair growth, help your skin glow, can help fortify your gut health, ignite your metabolism. And it can also help fuel your fitness performance and your recovery. You can harness the close-guarded secret of elite athletes, long prized for its unrivaled ability to take performance to its apex. Colostrum has been shown in research to help enhance nutrient absorption, promote lean muscle building, and improve endurance while fueling cellular repair regeneration for faster recovery. Specifically, colostrum has been shown to improve fitness endurance by 20%, decrease recovery time by over 50% after intense exercise, improve stamina, and specifically build lean muscle mass. Go over to that's TRYARMRA, tryarmor.com/LFATV for 15% off of your first order. That's TRYARMRA.com/LFATV, tryarmor.com/Lima Foxtrot Alpha Tango Victor for 15% off of your entire first order. Tryarmor.com/LFATV. Real quick, another word from our friends over at Patriot Mobile. I know a lot of our friends in the chat have Patriot Mobile. For those of you in the chat, if you like Patriot Mobile, sound off right now. The time is yours, and the time is now to let us know how satisfied you are with Patriot Mobile's cell service. Because you know what? Everybody knows there's always choices available for you for cell phone service. There's new ones popping up all over the place. But here is the truth. There is only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that is Patriot Mobile. The good news right now is that you can switch to Patriot Mobile today without sacrificing quality and without sacrificing service. If you're worried about coverage, you don't have to be worried about coverage. Patriot Mobile uses all three major United States networks. If you have service in the country today, you will have as good or better coverage with Patriot Mobile tomorrow. If you think switching is a hassle, it isn't. You can keep your number, you can keep your phone, or you can upgrade. Patriot Mobile's 100% US-based team will get you activated in minutes from the comfort of your own home. If you are stuck in a contract or owe money on your phones, don't worry about that either. No worries. Hakuna Matata. Patriot Mobile has a contract buyout program as well. This is how we win, folks, by aligning our spending with our values. Every dollar we spend matters. And where we spend every dollar matters. Go to patriotmobile.com/Farish, F-A-R-A-S-H, or call 972-PATRIOT. Use the promo code Farish, F-A-R-A-S-H, for a free month of service. patriotmobile.com/Farish or 972-PATRIOT. Promo code F-A-R-A-S-H for a free month of service. patriotmobile.com. All right, this Tim Walz story, this is a big deal here. Showing that the shooting could have been preventable, that schools had requested security, and that Tampon Tim denied it. Now look what happened. This report is infuriating. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz reportedly denied Catholic schools' request for a small security budget despite having a $17 billion surplus and giving similar grants to public schools. The Minnesota Catholic Conference, the public voice for the state's 6 dioceses, asked Tim Walz twice in 2 years for a small security grant to protect against school shootings, according to a report by National Catholic Register. Quote, there are approximately 72,000 students enrolled in independent, Catholic, Jewish, Christian, and Muslim non-public schools in our state, Minnesota. The 2023 letter from the Minnesota Catholic Conference to Walls read, quote, the latest school shooting at a non-public Christian school in Tennessee sadly confirms that what we already know. Our schools are under attack, the letter continued, referring to the March 2023 mass shooting at the Covenant School in Nashville, carried out by the transgender shooter in that incident as well. Not going to use the name. The Minnesota Catholic Conference, however, was denied, but similar security grants were reportedly handed out to public schools. In 2023, while asking for assistance, the Minnesota Catholic Conference went on to ask to be included in Walls' budget recommendation of $50 million to establish the Building and Cybersecurity Grant Program, noting, quote, the exclusion of one sector of schools, as you know, non-public schools serve many students and families in need of services and resources, is a discriminatory act against our students. So in 2023, after the Tennessee shooting, which inspired this Minneapolis shooting, a public advocacy group for private schools asked Tim Walz, give us some funding to secure our schools. Tim Walz said, nope. And then a shooter decided that he was going to go attack one of those private Catholic schools because it wasn't a high security place. Blood on the hands of Tim Walz. And I'm not just saying that because it's politics, because I don't like his politics, because I don't like his party. We can connect the dots here. Tim Walz did not give the funding to this organization that would pass it along to secure these schools, and you have the shooter that just recently took the lives of two beautiful children saying, hey, high security places are unattractive to mass shooters. What more needs to be said? It's not the gun. It's policy. And there is not strong enough policy regarding security around these schools. If gun laws worked, there would be no school shootings. Why? All schools are gun-free zones. Or most of them, I guess. Some of them have, unless they're gun-free zones on exception, maybe the ones with armed guards, because there are some schools with armed guards. Mm-hmm. The Annunciation School is a gun-free zone. Okay? If gun laws and gun control laws worked, then why don't they work? Anybody want to give that one a shot? Any Democrats want to give that one a shot? If gun control, Carl Higbee said this yesterday, if gun control, or maybe it was Wednesday, if gun control laws and gun-free zones worked, why don't they work? It's the Moneyball theory, right? If he's such a good hitter, how come he doesn't hit good? If gun control laws worked to stop gun violence, then why isn't it stopping gun violence? Why are the ones committing the violence admitting they're looking for these zones before they commit those attacks and engage in those attacks that take people's lives from us? They're looking for it. Now you couple that with the mental illness, as Speak and his wife, Mrs. Speak, last night on the Speakeasy. We're not calling them transgenders. We're not calling them TRANNIES anymore. We're calling them GDs.
Why is that?
GD, gender dysphoria.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So we're going to start calling them GDs now. Gender dysphorics. Gender dysphoria. GDs, okay? We're not calling them the other word that gets you banned everywhere, even on X, so we can't say it.
That's stupid. That's a car part.
It's a car part. We're going to call them GDs now. I like that.
That sounds a little bit like
What?
Like something you would call a root to do.
Oh, gosh. Oh, because it. Oh, yes. It does sound like you had to. Did you really use the term that term? Yeah. Folks, we need to bring locals back to go over what Brennan just said. It was the Brennan Farish translator.
I'm crying.
Yeah, it does sound like that. Because there is a term, Jeets, that is used. But these are GDs. These GDs. It's true though.
That's also the God dang it, people
Right.
is in the name of God's name in vain, but GD.
GD, right? Yes, that's true. So you would say basically maybe a GD was responsible for what happened in Florida on the road, right? Harjinder Singh, right? But no, he wasn't a GD, but he was just a
That name.
Yeah, but we're gonna call him GDs. We can use that; could be interchangeable. What do you call it?
No.
What do you call somebody like Harjinder Singh who's also a transgender? Is it a
What?
GD?
What? Wait, whoa.
Is it a
whoa.
GD? Like a trans
GD bang.
like
Bang bang.
a trans, India, Pakistan. That would be a GD. Yeah. Pretty funny.
Speaking of yellow.
We're off the. Speaking of yellow. Rook out.
Oh,
Can you
man.
tell my wife's racist?
I'm not racist.
No.
I just have a good sense of humor.
She's just got a great sense of humor. She's not racist.
No,
not at all.
You know what? I'm an equal opportunity hater.
She's an equal opportunity
I hate
offender.
everyone.
That's true.
If you're annoying,
Yeah.
but I love everyone if you're not annoying, no matter what color you are. I
That's
don't care.
right. That's right. All right. Let's. By the way, the mother of the shooter is now lawyering up. I wonder what that's about. The mother of the shooter, the mother of the transgender shooter, is now obtaining a criminal, or has now obtained a criminal defense attorney. That's pretty significant news. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara stated he can't figure out the motive, despite the fact that the shooter wrote up the motive. Yeah, doesn't like Jews, doesn't like Catholics, doesn't like Trump. There's a motive. Mentally ill, Islamo-Marxist, anti-Israel, anti-Zionist, anti-Jew, anti-Trump. Yeah, we have no idea what the motive is. None. The mother of the Minneapolis shooter, Mary Westman, has retained a criminal defense attorney who just spoke on the phone. Asked attorney Ryan Gary why his client hired a criminal defense attorney, and he said, quote, he is completely distraught about the situation, has no culpability, but is seeking an attorney to deal with calls like this. Also asking why the police chief says he's not been successful in speaking to his client, was told he can't comment. She's apparently not cooperating with police. People with nothing to hide generally, yeah, they hide stuff. So I don't know what that's about.
You guys all made fun of me for saying that.
But yeah,
I'm right.
yeah, people with
Turns
nothing to hide
out.
stuff. It turns out some more info coming out of that. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. RFK Jr. also pledging to investigate what meds the trans shooter was taking. That's also very important. And as Dawn Stensland mentioned, this shooter worked at a marijuana dispensary. And how did the THC, right? Because this person was only 23 years old, right? I think the shooter was 23.
Okay.
So underdeveloped brain, not fully developed yet, exposed to THC. We know that the brain, when exposed to copious amounts of THC at a young age, before 25, can certainly cause psychosis. And this person definitely was psychotic, already mentally ill with the transgender crap. Throw a little THC in the mix, then the SSRIs, hormone blockers, puberty blockers, etc. Oh, this shooter was 20, so even younger. So that is a recipe for disaster. Recipe for disaster. Real bad. Okay, here we go. Let's get to a word from our friends over at My Patriot Supply, and then we will do calls. 631-527-4545. I will put the number on the screen. You can start your calls now. 631-527-4545. Or maybe wait until we are somewhat through our words from My Patriot Supply. But it is, yes, My Patriot Supply. MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com/ungoverned. 3-month emergency food kit. This deal is done in 3 days. There's a countdown going on the website. So to the 21,000 of you that have checked this product out, time's a wasting. You better go ahead and get it. This summer is not just hot, it's been historic. Flash flood warnings are at a 40-year high, and it is not slowing down. Towns are underwater, roads are washed out, and in every crisis zone, you see the same scene. Crowds standing in line, waiting for bottled water, waiting for food, waiting for somebody to show up and save them. They tell you that help is on the way, but what if it isn't? What if help takes days? What if help doesn't come at all? If you think the system is built to protect you, unfortunately, the system has trouble handling just one emergency, let alone dozens. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be the one caught empty-handed in the middle of a situation like that. Right now, my Patriot Supply is giving away 4 weeks of emergency food for free. That's right, 4 weeks free. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned to find out how to claim your free 4-week food supply and join millions of Americans who are preparing with My Patriot Supply. That is mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned, mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. 3 days, 15 hours, 11 minutes, and 27 seconds left of this deal. mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. You get a free month with the 3 months. mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. This has a 20-year shelf life, 25-year shelf life, 25-year shelf life, 2,000 calories a day. It's the best way to prepare. mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. That is mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. All right, let's get those calls rolling in. 631-527-4545. Do you support armed guards in the schools to protect and secure your schools? We'll go to our first caller. It is Heather in Kansas City. What's up, Heather?
Howdy. I just wanted to add a couple things about all this. I do pray for the families going through all of this right now.
Yep.
But I worked at 3 different middle schools, and every school we had a resource officer. I was really close with one of them, and all the kids loved him. I think that's a great idea at every school, and post it. I also want to ask about what about the outside? Since he came from the outside, should they have that outside?
I would say if you're in a situation like that, you would want to have somebody who is, looking for those areas where, infiltration could occur on the outside, perimeter, things like that, and taking action accordingly. I have a feeling if you're in a situation like a church where you have those huge stained glass windows, that would be something. But if you're at a normal high school or whatnot, once you put that armed guard there, the majority of these shooters are going to be turned away just because of the presence of the armed guard alone.
Right.
But yes, I still believe we should be scanning the outside, the perimeter of the building. Yes.
Well, and at our church, we have security. We have a small church too, but we have people that switch on and off who are armed. We won't know every week to week who it is, but we do have that available. And we also have people out in the parking lot patrolling the parking lot. So we do have that as well. But it's kind of like you're still, I myself, and I don't know about you all, everywhere I go now, I have a plan, and it may be the military side of me growing up that I have a plan how to get out of somewhere.
You should always have that plan. Yes.
I just always do. But I wanted to tell Brendan, do you guys have a home goods store around you?
Do we have home?
Do we have home goods? Do we have home goods?
Heather,
we're in Murfreesboro. We're getting a Wawa.
At least once a week.
There you go. Yes, we do have home goods.
Okay, so that has a lot of things there, by the way, for you.
Yeah, I was just there actually the other day. They got a lot of Halloween stuff up now. I'm not into the Halloween.
I know.
She's the queen of home goods, Brennan is.
I do love home goods. Home goods, Hobby Lobby, Painted Tree.
Yeah, and her and I are twins now. We have the same thing. We thought
matching
alike.
towels.
So
there you go.
We did. Well, I want to say have a good weekend. And,
you too.
Now Kansas City's going to be nuts here, and y'all know why now. So
that's right. Congratulations. I heard you're in the bridal party. Congratulations.
I'm waiting for my invitation, and my dad's waiting for his. He said, so we're waiting.
All right. Well, hopefully you get yours. Have a good time at the wedding. Tell Tay-Tay we said congrats.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Heather. There it is. Everybody wants to talk about this topic. This is the day we should have started calls early. We have another one connecting right now. It looks like a lot of people want to speak about this, which is good. Let's see. Who do we have on the line here? We'll see what we got.
Hello. My name is Angela.
Hi, Angela. How are you?
Pretty good. I have a couple things. The day that the shooting happened, and one of the doctors at the hospital, they said they had a mass shooting the day before, but no one really elaborated on it. I found an article, and actually, Megyn Kelly had a woman named Liz, somebody who either lives in Minnesota and works out of Minneapolis, who's like a reporter.
Okay.
I cannot remember who she's with. But she also said, yeah, there was a mass shooting the day before in front of another school. And when I looked it up, it was El Rey Cristo High School. The shooting didn't happen in the school. It happened outside the school, like on the corner of the street.
Okay.
But like 2 people got killed. They didn't really say if it was related. And apparently that same day and into the next day, 3 other people were shot and killed with different shootings, not related to schools, and just different shootings.
Wow.
To what you have to say, yes, I do agree that there should be, and I've been saying this for years, teachers who want to carry guns should get their CCPs. They should go through schooling. They should go through whatever they need to.
Training,
through the sheriff's offices, and be allowed to carry in the school. Ohio, just this year, there's an article, I read it the other day, that there are schools in Ohio that teachers are now going to be carrying when they come into school, and they're notifying people. You don't know who it is.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure it said you don't know who it is, because you shouldn't know who it is. You should just be afraid that there's someone, and I don't mean afraid, but you should
but you should be aware. Aware, exactly. And Tennessee's doing the same thing. They're doing it. They're doing it. Right. Exactly. You should know you're always on constant FAFO mode, for lack of a better term, but you know that someone's got a gun near you, so don't play games. Tennessee is doing the same thing here. It's up to the county whether or not they want to make that program available for teachers, but I think that's another one. That's a good idea. And it helps. It certainly, I think, will help secure these schools, though. But thank you for that update about what else happened in Minneapolis.
Brandon Tatum said the exact same thing on Megyn Kelly that you've been saying. Let former military, former police, don't.
There are people that would do this for free.
Want to be paid.
Yep.
Yeah, they do it for free, and then they could even do like half a day if they needed to. There's a bunch of people that would be willing to do this. You brought up the THC and pot.
Yeah.
The problem, and you mentioned a couple weeks ago that you would have no problem with it being federally legal.
Federally legal and descheduled. Yeah. Yep.
I don't agree with that. And I have personal experience that I'm living with daily of someone who's in their 40s, who constantly gets high, who's been doing this for years, more decades, also takes an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety pill. Whatever it is, that's not helping them. So then they try, and they're saying that they are, without saying it, self-medicating with the pot, because they say, well, that just makes me feel calmer.
Right.
Well, you're actually using them as a crutch. The pot is a crutch. You're just using it as a way to say, oh, it makes me feel better. I've watched them do stuff.
Well, I mean, you could say that about every, but in fairness, I mean, you could say that about every drug. I think you could say that caffeine helps you wake up. Ibuprofen takes the pain away. I mean, you could say that about every drug. I'm not saying I want people to get.
With that.
No, I know, and I'm not saying that I want people to get high all the time. What I'm saying is there are far more dangerous things in terms of things that you could overdose on and that aren't regulated. I think pot, if you're going to schedule it the same schedule as heroin, I think is unreasonable. But I think we could. The
problem is it's this whole theory. A locked door. What does a locked door do? It keeps
people out.
Honest person honest.
Yes.
If you keep pot, the people are still going to smoke pot. It doesn't matter. They smoke it now, and it's
well, and that's
illegal,
why I'm right. But that's
what
I'm saying. But people shouldn't go to jail for having the federally. It should not be controlled. Schedule 1 is what I think. Heroin and pot are not the same. That's my point.
You still don't give a crap when you're on it, because I've watched this person. And
no, but what I'm saying is they're not the same, so they shouldn't be treated the same, unfortunately. We're going to have to leave it here and agree to disagree on this issue, because I do have a ton of other calls, but I do appreciate the discussion, and I appreciate you bringing us up to speed on Minnesota. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, okay?
You're welcome. Okay, you too. Okay.
All right. Let's move on to, because we do have a ton, and I wanted to continue that conversation. I didn't realize we were going to get such a response today with the school shooting stuff, although I should have anticipated that. That's my bad. We have another one connecting, and if we can go lightning round, who do we have on the line here?
Hey, this is Brennan.
Hey there, how are you?
Good, this is Redneck.
Hey, Redneck, how are you? Yes, I'm very happy you called in. How are you?
We have another one connecting.
Great. How are you doing, man?
Not too bad. Give us what's on your mind. We only got a couple minutes left.
Hey, is this Brian? Yeah. Okay. So from someone who's in this industry, I agree. You know, your question was about having law enforcement or veterans in schools for armed protection.
Right.
A lot of places do that. There's been a lot of federal funding pushed out to schools for security, and a lot of that funding goes to SROs, which are typically off-duty police officers.
Right.
And it costs a lot. You know, it costs a lot of money to pay for that.
Yeah.
Well, what we typically recommend is a layered security approach. I've been doing this for 30 years. You get a perimeter security. You get monitoring, so cameras and stuff. Somebody's sitting there watching the cameras and what's going on. You got your SROs that are in the building. Then you want to go further in. That's kind of what our group does. You go further in and arm the classroom doors. You know, protect the students in the classrooms. Now, a lot of these schools, the policies are that the doors remain unlocked. Some schools, you know, it just depends on the district. Some schools lock them, some schools don't. But the fact is, you know, since 1970, we've lost over 2,000 people in school shootings, 2,060 something.
It's too many.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. That's the number of shootings. There's been almost 700 people killed.
Yeah, still too many.
Almost 2,000 injured. It's too many. One is too many.
Right.
But you know what we see a lot of times with these schools is there's a pattern. Most of the time it's a student who already knows the school. They know the security. They're supposed to be there.
Right.
And they just walk in with a weapon and do their damage. So with the layered security approach, you know, which is typically what we recommend, it helps defend against that. But again, you know, if the kid's supposed to be there, they got their badge or their ID or whatever, they're going to let them in.
Right.
You know, not every school has magnetometers, so.
And they're starting that in Rutherford County, and I don't mean to cut you off. We do have to bounce because it's we're coming up on the top of the hour. Jeremy's coming up, but thank you for the call. And if you do have that guest, you feel free to send it to our email to talk more about this. And you have a great weekend. Have a happy, healthy, and safe Labor Day weekend. All right.
Yeah, you too, brother. If you guys want to have me on, I'm happy to do that as well.
All right, sounds great. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. All right, we have to bounce. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. There's so many people who want to chime in on this issue. And this was the last week I started calls early, and they trickled in. It wasn't a very heavy news week, and now we have a very, very big topic. So maybe we'll keep it open next week. Maybe we'll do a couple of extra call segments as well, just to keep that conversation going. All right, folks, I hope you all have a happy, healthy, and safe Labor Day weekend. I will be on 1210 WPHT Monday morning, but we will not be streaming on LFA TV Monday morning for Labor Day. Jeremy Harrell is up next. Have a happy, healthy, and safe Labor Day weekend. As President Trump says, we will never give up. We will never give in. We will never, ever surrender. If all else fails, we will just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your day and a great holiday weekend. We will see you back here on Tuesday. Until then, thank you. God bless you. And thank you for your attention to this matter.